Hi, this is my fifth and final website to share. I am going to share Mobymax. Mobymax is a free personalized learning site. I really use it to differentiate some learning in my classroom. Most of the tools on the site are free, and you can sign up right over on the site over here. It also, not only does it have personalized learning, but it also has assessments that can be used in your classroom. It gives a pre-test in order to find some learning gaps for your students. I'm sorry, my mouse isn't working quite well there. To find gaps in your students' learning, and then puts them on a lesson plan, a number of assignments in order to help them be more successful. So once you have started your account, you will sign in as so. Pinpointing assessments is really great, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Personalized learning is where you go in order to set up your roster, give assessments. You can start contests over here, and I will show you quickly the roster. It's very, very simple to set up. Click on register a new student. You can give the student a name. You can select a grade. I don't actually have a Joe in my class, so I am not going to register the student, but you can also create their username and password, which makes it really easy for them as well as yourself. So once you have your roster made up, you can start giving students lessons and assessments. So we have everything from math, vocabulary. You can add a spelling list. Younger students, you can do phonics sounds. I teach fifth grade, so we do some, we use it a lot for math. We've done a lot of fact fluency. I just did my first science contest the other day, which the kids really enjoyed. It also has some state assessment testing, just kind of to help them practice. Oh, there it is. Test prep for state assessments, or just some ACT type testing that we do in Derby. All right, so we use this for math a lot, so I'll show you quickly some data on some of my students. When the kids go in, we'll give them a pre-test. It will put them at the grade level that it sees fit for them, and then it starts filling holes for specific kids. This specific child right here is very high in my classroom. He's actually in enrichment, but you can see it's put him at a third grade level, and right now he's working on multiplying by 9, which must be something that he needed help with at the time, and would just be a small hole. He is way over where we need to be grade level wise, but that was just a small thing that he needed to work on at the time. And you can also see that some of my kids have worked a lot. Some of them have not worked at all on Mobymax. It's usually a choice at the time. My kids we do some contests, which I can show you really quickly. We do some contests in my classroom, and I set them up for a month. And then the kids who are interested in that do participate in those, and those who don't, that's okay. If they win first, second, or third place, I give them a little prize. So right now I have 3 contests going. We have a reading skills contest, a math contest, and a science contest. I haven't looked at the results, but I'll show you what it looks like. It looks like the science one. I have several kids who have had some time to go in and start on the science contest. And when that comes to an end, those kids will earn a prize. The next thing I will show you is you can send and receive messages. I have several. Oh, Natalie has sent me several messages. Very interesting. And I can send some messages back to her as well. You can also see students' failed lessons. You can see students' response time. Are they sitting and not doing what they're supposed to do at that time? You can assign specific lessons, like in the case of my child who has some enrichment things. If I wanted him to work on something a little harder, I could assign that to him. The kids also earn badges and they earn game time. The more they work, the more game time they get. I've taught my kids that it's up to them when they use it. So if they want to earn 10 seconds of game time and play for 10 seconds, that is fine with me. Most kids do not. My kids are really competitive right now and really into the contest. So that is what they prefer to do. I'm going to show you really quickly how to, oops, sorry about that. How to get back to the assessments. So you can see that. I have not used them this year, but I did use some assessments last year. They're very short assessments that you can use just standard based, which is how we do our report cards. So you can assign students assessments as a class and also as a individual. So if I have a kid who misses something, or I think maybe they've made some improvements, then I can go in. So if I want to assign all my students, count to 10, which would be a silly thing for me to assign 5th graders, but if I wanted to, I could. We'll go to a 5th grade one. Identify place value of each digit. I can assign that to my class. I can put a test date in if I want them to take that test tomorrow. And then you can see there is their test. And then as they go in, it will give me a score over here. All right. Mobymax meets lots and lots of objectives. It meets lots of assessment needs, messaging needs. It would meet lots of ISTE standards, but the two that I came up with is 3D and 5C. I appreciate you listening. Have a great night.